Do Republican presidents do a better job at managing the economy than Democratic presidents? This is an interesting question, and polls suggest that Republicans are always given the benefit of the doubt when it comes to managing the economy. Now, this is an ABC News poll from the fall of 2023, and as you can see, 35% of people believe that Republicans would do a better job at managing the economy, compared to 25% who believe Democrats would. This belief in polling has persisted over the last 30-40 years. There's two questions we need to ask. Number one, is this actually true? Does the economy perform better under Democratic presidents or Republican presidents? And number two, there's a more philosophical question about why people believe Republicans to be better for the economy. There's a big caveat here because, like I talk about in this video, it's hard to determine whether it's the current president that's causing the economic situation going on or whether it's policies from the previous president that's causing a positive economic situation. So sometimes this question can be a little bit messy on how to answer. There's also a lot of different ways of how we can measure how economic performance is being evaluated. There are a couple of white papers and research papers that have tried to do exactly this, measure how the economy performs under Republican presidents versus Democratic presidents. And essentially, when we look at economic indicators like real GDP growth, like the unemployment rate, like job growth, we find that the economic indicators happening under Democratic presidents are more favorable than those under Republican presidents. So GDP grows more, the unemployment rate is lower, real wages are higher, which again goes against what a lot of polling would suggest. This paper by Alan Blinder and Mark Watson also has similar findings, which finds that real GDP growth, so how large the economy is expanding, that expansion is greater for Democratic presidents versus Republican presidents. Now again, there is very limited control about how much a president can influence how well the economy is doing. And there's also a lot of outside factors that when we're just evaluating GDP, we don't consider in just looking at the numbers. But I think honestly, a much more interesting question is why the GOP is usually given the benefit of the doubt when it comes to the economy, even though, again, there's a lot of outside factors that contribute to how well the economy is doing or not. I'd honestly love to get some of my mutuals to weigh in here. I think a lot of it has to do with this idea that they're more fiscally responsible. Kind of like when you see your dad or your mom balancing your checkbook when you're young, you feel like you're doing a good job. Even though I could make a whole argument about why the US government is vastly different than like balancing a checkbook and managing spending. I think a lot of that has to do with it. But again, I'm not a philosopher. I would love to hear what some other people have to say about that. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. And if you have any questions, let me know.